It is 2 o'clock in the morning. This is the hour of the wolf. The hour when the noise of the city finally dies down, leaving only the hum of the refrigerator and the beating of your own heart. For most people, this is a time of sleep, of dreams, or perhaps of tossing and turning in the grip of anxiety. But for you, this is the time of control. You are sitting at your desk. The only light in the room comes from a heavy brass lamp, casting a pool of yellow illumination onto the green felt mat before you. Your name is Koi. You are 42 years old. To the world outside this room, you are a financial director, a man of numbers, a man of sharp suits, sharper spreadsheets, and an expression that rarely shifts more than a few millimeters in any direction. People call you cold. They say you are efficient, brilliant, but devoid of warmth. They say you are like a machine. They do not know how right they are. In your hand, you hold a pair of fine steel tweezers. You are looking through a jeweler's loupe, magnified 5 times, at the exposed heart of a vintage watch. It is a Patek Philippe from 1960. It is broken. It does not tick. It is dead, and you are going to bring it back to life. You breathe in. You hold the breath. Your hand moves with the precision of a surgeon. You gently lift the balance bridge. Click. It comes free. You exhale. There is a profound satisfaction in this. A drug-like high that settles in the base of your skull. You love these gears. You love these tiny, cold, metal springs. Do you know why? Because they make sense. If a watch stops working, there is a reason. Perhaps the oil has dried up. Perhaps a pivot is worn down. Perhaps the mainspring has snapped. It is physics. It is logic. It is cause and effect. There is no ambiguity here. The watch does not lie to you. The watch does not say one thing and do another. The watch does not promise to stay and then leave. You place the tiny bridge on the velvet tray, aligning it perfectly with the other parts you have already removed. You are creating a constellation of metal parts, a universe you can govern. People think your hobby is strange. They ask you why a man who earns as much as you do spends his nights hunched over broken junk bought from estate sales. They do not understand. They think you are fixing watches, but you know the truth. You are not fixing watches. You are fixing the chaos. When you are here, in this circle of light, the world stops spinning. The messy, loud, unpredictable world of human emotions fades away. There is no grief here. There is no rejection. There is only the soothing, rhythmic tick-tock of a machine functioning exactly as it was designed to. You prefer the machine. You always have. Machines are safe. Humans are dangerous. We all do this, don't we? We all have our little rituals, our ways of numbing out. Some people drink. Some people scroll endlessly through screens until their eyes burn. Some people work 80 hours a week. And you take things apart. You dismantle them down to their barest bones, proving to yourself that everything can be understood, everything can be managed, if you just have the right tools and enough patience. You pick up a tiny screw, no bigger than a grain of sand. You focus. For a moment, you are not Koi, the lonely man in the empty apartment. You are a god of mechanics. You are safe. The trouble begins with the hairspring. The hairspring is the soul of the watch. It is a delicate, spiral coil of metal, thinner than a human hair, that breathes in and out, regulating the time. If the hairspring is damaged, the watch has no rhythm. It has no life. You see a tangle in the coil, a small imperfection. Easy, you whisper to yourself. Your voice sounds loud in the silent room. You reach in with your tweezers. You need to apply just the right amount of pressure. Too little, and nothing happens. Too much, and you ruin it forever. You hold your breath again. You can feel the pulse in your fingertips. Steady. You nudge the coil. It resists. You push a fraction of a millimeter harder. Snap. The sound is barely audible. A tiny, metallic ping. But in the silence of 2 in the morning, it sounds like a gunshot. You freeze. You pull the tweezers back. The hairspring is severed. It is destroyed. The watch is now truly dead. It cannot be fixed. Not tonight. Maybe not ever. You stare at the broken metal. And then, it happens. It starts in your stomach. A heat. A sudden, violent surge of energy that has nowhere to go. It rushes up your throat, tightening your jaw, burning behind your eyes. It is rage. It is a disproportionate rage. It is a terrifying rage. You want to scream. You want to sweep your arm across the desk and send thousands of dollars worth of tools and parts crashing to the floor. You want to pick up the heavy brass lamp and smash it against the wall. Your hand shakes uncontrollably. You drop the tweezers. They clatter onto the table. Stupid, you hiss. Stupid, stupid, useless. You grip the edge of the desk so hard your knuckles turn white. You are breathing heavily now, gasping for air as if the room has suddenly run out of oxygen. Why are you reacting like this? It is just a piece of metal. It is just a watch. You have dozens of them. You can buy another one tomorrow. But we know it is not about the watch, don't we? The watch is just the trigger. The watch is just the crack in the dam. This is the moment the shadow creeps in. You have spent your whole life trying to be perfect, trying to be precise, trying to be the man who never makes a mistake. You have built a fortress of competence around yourself. You are the man who has the answers. You are the man who fixes things. And now, you have broken something. That tiny snap has echoed down the canyon of your years, vibrating against a memory you thought you had buried under layers of concrete and silence. The rage you feel is not the rage of a 42-year-old man. It is the rage of a child. It is the panic of a boy who has just realized that he is not in control and that something terrible is about to happen. You close your eyes. You try to push it back down. You try to summon the cold, logical voice of the financial director. It is a sunk cost, the voice says. Move on. But the voice is weak tonight. The silence of the room is no longer empty. It is filling up with ghosts. Let us go back. Let us follow that feeling of panic down the rabbit hole of time. We are traveling back 35 years. You are 7 years old. The year is 1989. You are living in a house that smells of old paper and strict expectations. Your father is a professor. Your mother is a pianist. To the neighbors, your family is the picture of intellect and culture, but you know the truth. You know the texture of the air inside that house. It is heavy. It is thick with unspoken resentments. It is a Tuesday evening. You can hear the rain drumming against the window pane, but louder than the rain is the sound of voices coming from the living room. They are fighting again. You are hiding in your bedroom closet. It is your sanctuary. It smells of mothballs and cedar wood. You are sitting on the floor, your knees pulled up to your chest, your small arms wrapped tightly around your shins. You are trying to make yourself as small as possible. You are trying to disappear. If I am small enough, you think, the noise cannot find me. You press your hands over your ears, but the voices slip through. Your father's voice is a low, booming thunder. Your mother's voice is a sharp, high-pitched shriek, like a violin string being stretched until it snaps. They are throwing words at each other like stones. Words you do not fully understand, but you feel their weight. Selfish, regret, mistake, trap. Your heart is hammering against your ribs like a trapped bird. You feel responsible. Children always do, don't they? We think we are the center of the universe, so we assume we are the cause of the chaos. You think, maybe if I had cleaned my room better, they would be happy. Maybe if I had gotten a higher mark in math, they would not be shouting. Suddenly, there is a crash, the sound of glass shattering. Then, silence. The silence is worse than the shouting. The silence is terrifying. You wait. 1 minute, 2 minutes. You hear the front door slam. Your father has left. The car engine roars to life and fades away into the rain. Now, There is only the sound of weeping. You open the closet door. You step out into the hallway. The floorboards creak under your small feet. You are terrified, but you love your mother. You want to help. You want to fix it. You walk into the living room. Your mother is sitting on the floor, surrounded by the shards of a blue vase. Her face is buried in her hands. Her shoulders are shaking. You have never seen an adult look so broken. You walk toward her. You reach out your hand. You want to touch her shoulder. You want to say, "It's okay, Mama. I am here." You touch her. She jerks her head up. Her eyes are red and swollen. Her mascara has run down her cheeks in black rivers. But it is the look in her eyes that stops your heart. It is not love. It is not comfort. It is pure, unfiltered irritation. It is hatred for the moment, for the life she is trapped in. And you are the symbol of that trap. She swipes her arm out, hitting your hand away. Hard. "Get away for me!" she screams. Her voice is raw. "Leave me alone. Can't you see I want to be alone? Why are you always under my feet? Go away." You stumble back. You are not physically hurt, but something inside your chest tears open. This is the primal wound. It is the moment the bond breaks. It is the moment you realize that your love is not a gift. It is a burden. You realize that your presence does not bring comfort. It brings annoyance. You realize that your needs, your need for reassurance, your need for connection are too much. You stand there, frozen, looking at the woman who is supposed to be your safety, and you see that she is dangerous. Her emotions are a storm, and you are just a small boat that is getting in the way. "I said go," she yells again. You turn and run. You run back to your room. You crawl back into the closet. You close the door. You sit in the dark, but you do not cry. You want to cry, but you stop yourself. Because crying makes noise, and noise makes people angry. Noise gets you rejected. So, you make a decision. A decision that a 7-year-old boy should never have to make, but you make it anyway to survive. I will not feel. I will not need. I will be quiet. I will be perfect. I will be like the furniture. I will be like a machine. If I do not have needs, I cannot be rejected. If I do not show emotion, I cannot be hurt. You swallow your tears. You tighten your chest. You begin to construct the mask. The years passed. The boy in the closet grew up. But he did not grow out of the closet. He just built a bigger, more expensive one to live in. You became the perfect student. You got the highest grades. You never caused trouble. You never came home with dirty clothes. You never slammed doors. You were low maintenance. You heard your parents tell their friends that Koi is such an easy child. He is so independent. They thought it was a compliment. They did not know it was a scar. You learned to intellectualize everything. This became your defense mechanism. When you felt sad, you analyzed the sadness. You dissected it like a frog in biology class until it was just data. I am feeling sad because of a drop in serotonin levels. When you felt lonely, you convinced yourself that solitude was efficient. People are a distraction. I get more done alone. You built a persona, a mask to show the world. This mask was polished. It was successful. It was the man who graduated top of his class, the man who became a CFO at 35, the man who speaks 3 languages and knows everything about global markets. This mask, let's call him the professional, is safe. He is admired. He is useful. As long as you are useful, as long as you are fixing things, as long as you are providing value, people will tolerate you, but they will not love you. And that is fine, you tell yourself. You do not need love. Love is messy. Love breaks vases. Love screams in the living room. You need respect. You need order. But what happened to the 7-year-old boy? What happened to the anger, the fear, the desperate need to be held? He did not die. He was shoved into the shadow. He lives in the basement of your psyche. And because you have ignored him for 35 years, he has grown twisted. His need for love has turned into a need for control. His fear of rejection has turned into cold detachment. His anger has turned into this simmering, volcanic rage that erupts over a broken watch spring. You treat yourself the way your mother treated you in that moment. When you feel tired, you tell yourself, stop whining, work harder. When you feel sad, you tell yourself, don't be pathetic, get over it. When you make a mistake, you scream at yourself internally, you are stupid, you are a burden. You have internalized the voice of the aggressor. You have become your own strict parent. You monitor yourself constantly, watching for any sign of weakness, any sign of the messy human trying to break through the machine. That is why you fix watches. A watch is a machine you can control. You can take it apart, clean it, and make it perfect. It is the only place in your life where you can fix the brokenness without feeling the pain. But tonight, the watch broke, and the machine failed. We return to the present moment. 2:15 in the morning. The rage is subsiding, leaving behind a cold, hollow ache in your chest. You look at the mess on your desk, the scattered gears, the broken spring, the lifeless face of the Patek Philippe. You pick up the tweezers again. You try to grab the broken piece, but your hand is shaking too hard. You cannot do it. You drop the tool. It clatters. I can't, you whisper. The words hang in the air. I can't. You are not talking about the watch. You push the chair back. You stand up. Your legs feel heavy. You walk to the window and look out at the sleeping city. You see the reflection of a man in the glass. He looks tired. He looks old. He looks incredibly lonely. The armor is cracking. The defense mechanism that has served you for 35 years, the intellectualization, the dissociation, the perfectionism, it is no longer working. It is heavy. It is suffocating you. You realize that you are tired. Not just sleep deprived, but soul tired. You are tired of holding your breath. You are tired of waiting for the shouting to start. You are tired of being perfect. You slide down to the floor. You sit with your back against the wall, under the window. You pull your knees up to your chest. Your body remembers this position. It is the position of the boy in the closet. And then, the dam breaks. It starts with a shudder in your shoulders, then a gasp, and then a sob that tears itself out of your throat. It is an ugly sound. It is a loud sound. You cry. You cry for the broken spring. You cry for the silence of this apartment. You cry for the 7-year-old boy who just wanted to hug his mother. You cry because you have spent 35 years believing that you are unlovable unless you are useful. You let the shadow out. You let the grief, the shame, the loneliness wash over you. It feels like dying. It feels like you are drowning. Your brain tries to stop it. Stop it, it says. This is ridiculous. You are a grown man. Get up. But you don't get up. You stay there. You surrender to the wave. For the first time in your life, you do not run away from the feeling. You do not try to analyze it. You do not try to fix it. You just let it hurt. This is the most courageous thing you have ever done. Braver than any board meeting. Braver than any investment decision. You are feeling. You are existing. You are messy. And the world is not ending. The ceiling is not falling down. You are still here. The storm passes. It always does. You are sitting on the floor, exhausted. Your eyes raw. Your throat sore. But there is a strange lightness in the room. The air feels thinner, cleaner. You stand up slowly. Your joints pop. You walk to the bathroom. You turn on the harsh fluorescent light. You look in the mirror. You see a face that is puffy and red. You look like a wreck. But for the first time in years, you recognize the person looking back. The mask of Mr. Zero is gone. You look into your own pupils, and in your mind's eye, you see him, the boy, the 7-year-old, with the terrified eyes. He is standing there, in the corner of the mirror, waiting to be scolded, waiting to be told to go away. He expects you to be like his mother. He expects you to hate his weakness. But you are not his mother. You are the man who survived. You lean forward, resting your hands on the sink. You look at that boy inside you. I see you, you whisper. You switch from I to we. We are okay, you say to the reflection. It is okay that we are broken. It is okay that we are sad. You imagine reaching out your hand to that boy, not to push him away, not to hit him, but to pull him in. I am sorry, you say. I am sorry I locked you in the closet for so long. I am sorry I made you work so hard to earn a place in the world. You didn't have to earn it. You were allowed to be there. You were just a kid. You feel a shift in your chest, a loosening, a warmth. It is the sensation of the primal wound beginning to close. It is not healed. Scars take time, but it is no longer bleeding. You realize that you do not need to be a machine to be safe. You can be human. You can be messy. You can have needs. You walk back out to the desk. You look at the broken watch. You do not try to fix it. You pick up the tiny pieces of the broken spring and place them gently into a small envelope. You write a date on it. Tonight's date. You will keep this broken spring, not as a symbol of failure, but as a reminder of the night you stopped ticking and started feeling. You turn off the heavy brass lamp. The room plunges into darkness, but it is not the scary darkness of the closet anymore. It is a restful dark. You walk to your bedroom. You lie down. You do not curl into a ball. You stretch out. You take up space. You breathe in, deep and full. For the first time in 35 years, you are not a mechanic trying to fix a broken machine. You are just a man, holding himself, listening to the quiet beat of his own human heart. Thump, 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 thump. It is not precise. It skips a beat sometimes. It is organic. It is imperfect, and it is enough.